Good evening, everybody. It's David McCoy here, Ochimo Properties, Real Estate Matters. So today we're switching gears a little bit. We're still sort of talking about investor questions. This is going to be a broad topic, and we won't try to cover all of this tonight because it's just too big. I mean, it's one of those things. We're going to have probably several videos on this, but tonight I thought we would just kind of hit the high notes on international real estate. So first I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. The reason that I call this Ochimo Properties is Ochimo is a Portuguese word, and it means something kind of like awesome or fantastic or, magnificent, something along those lines. It doesn't have an exact translation really, but that's sort of the idea. And so there's a lot of international real estate, and I am very interested in that. It's something that I'm kind of passionate about. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. So the National Association of Realtors, which we could do a video on NAR, we could do several on NAR because they are really amazing. And I think most people don't realize exactly how amazing they are. But they have a global division. And that global division has relationships with more than 100 different real estate associations around the world. In, I believe, 83 countries is where we are right now. So they are actively trying to promote professionalism throughout the world in real estate and good real estate practices. So everyone that they have an agreement with, all of those associations, in order to have a relationship with NAR, have to have a code of ethics that is similar to NAR's, so that you have confidence when you're working with them that these people are following a code of ethics. But we have really contacts all over the world. And I've been working with them. This is I think it's my 6th year, maybe my 7th year. I've been working with Jamaica for them for, this will be my 6th or 7th year. And I have been working with the Bahamas, Bermuda, and the Dominican Republic. This will be my 2nd year with them. And it is really a privilege to work with those things. So I will spend more time explaining my role with that on another video because I could probably spend 10 or 15 minutes just talking about that. But the point I want to get across here is there is a lot of real estate investment in different countries. There are a lot of countries that invest in the United States. And that amount in general has grown every year. The last 2 years that has been different. The last 2 years there's been a dip in investment in the U.S. from other countries. And almost all of that is because of reduction in investment from China. And there's a couple of reasons for that. The two main reasons for the reduction from China are that, one, we were ironing out our trade agreement with China for a while, and so there was some uncertainty there. But the other thing is that the government of China has been having tighter controls on money being invested outside the country. They're still allowing it, but they are changing it, and so with that in mind, there was a big drop in investment from China in the last 2 years. But there are people who invest, all over the world, and it's not just big companies. In fact, I would say most of it is individuals buying residential or vacation properties in other areas. There are a lot of reasons you might do that. And the other thing is, I'll talk probably mainly about U.S. habits, but you learn about the habits of people everywhere. One of the reasons that people in the U.S. like to invest in international properties, a lot of it is retirement communities. Costa Rica in particular has made that their economic development model for 20 or 30 years now. And they've been very successful at it. Costa Rica is one of the most prosperous countries in Central America. And they do that because they've been able to attract a lot of U.S. retirees to come down there and live. It's a beautiful country. It's a very nice, warm climate. There's a lot to be done there, and you can live there. The U.S. will pay your Social Security there, so you can get your retirement income. There's good health care in Central America. There are world-class clinics. I mean, they are run by, I believe the one in Panama is run by the Mayo Clinic. I mean, it is top-notch medical care, and it is affordable and actually much less expensive than it is here. So you have health care, but one of the things you have is your standard of living can be higher there because the cost of living is so much less. So that's one reason people do that. They go and they want a nice, comfortable climate, and they want to have a better lifestyle. So there are a lot of people who do that. There's also investment reasons. So each country, of course, has their own tax laws, and I'm going to use the Germans as an example here. I'm not an expert on Germany, and this may have changed, but a number of years ago, there are a lot of Germans in Costa Rica. There are Germans in Jamaica. There's Germans kind of all through Central America and the Caribbean. And in fact, in Jamaica, they have there are people, believe it or not, who come from all over the world for their Oktoberfest parties because there's enough Germans there that it's a big party. But the thing about that is that the German tax laws do not tax their citizens on income that is made outside of the country. Which is different. Now that's not to claim that they don't pay tax, because that would depend upon where they are. Normally they are going to be paying whatever taxes are due in the country in which they are investing, but they don't have to pay tax on that in Germany. So Germans have a sort of an incentive to invest abroad, and Germans also. It gets very cold in Germany, and so they are frequently looking for warm locales. So there's a lot of investment from Germany in those areas as well. And there's also a lot of business investment. I'm only going to spend a second on that, but China has been very interested. China is investing really all over the world, but they have been very interested in Central America, and they have come and done a lot throughout Central America and Jamaica and the Caribbean and South America as well. Now, maybe beaches aren't your thing. I always think of beaches first because, I'm kind of a warm weather guy. I love the ocean and love warm weather and love the beach. And so usually if I have a choice, I'm probably going to pick going to a beach somewhere. But that's not what everybody likes. Some people prefer things like the mountains. Maybe they are skiers and they want places where they can ski, or maybe they like the wine country. In Argentina, in the Mendoza region, which is like their biggest wine area. There are some people now, there's a company that of developers I'm aware of, and they're building developments in Mendoza. And so it's the same sort of feel as the wine country in California or maybe France, but it's much less expensive. Most of us couldn't even dream of having enough money to buy a place in the wine country in California. But we very likely could afford it in Argentina. So you have that as well. There's an affordability factor as well. And it goes other ways as well. A lot of, a good friend of mine, she grew up in Sweden. Yeah, she grew up in Sweden. And so she's an expert on the Scandinavian countries, and she's done a lot with that. A lot of Scandinavians, I mean, it's quite cold there. It's quite cold there. And so a lot of those people have looked for warmer places to be, and some of them have moved south for their permanent homes just to be warmer, but they miss their country. And so a lot of them do the opposite. They have summer homes instead of winter homes. And in the summer, they go back to their country to live there during the summer when it's not quite as cold and they can enjoy their country and their homeland. You know, there are all kinds of things that are going on. There's development all over the world. It's not just residential, but I would say the majority of the kind of stuff that's going on is sort of residential stuff. But it is possible to invest in other countries. It is possible to have property there. But I'm gonna wrap this up, but I'm gonna say that we'll talk about that a little bit more. If that's something you want to do, you ought to seek out someone who is an expert in that area. So we'll talk a little bit about kind of what I do, but that person should ideally set you up with someone who is who lives in that country, who is a reputable guy, who is an expert in that area that you know you can trust, and because the laws in every country are different, and you know, some places they do not really protect your property rights like other places do. So there's some places that are good to invest and some that maybe aren't so good to invest. But you know, international real estate is one of those things. It is here. It is available. It is a real thing. I'm going to wrap it up with that. This is, as I said, just a, you know, scratching the surface, kind of hitting the high notes and mentioning the main topics there. And down the road, we'll talk more about international real estate, ways that you can invest, things that you can do, about the different countries, about people. We might even, you know, mention people I know in those areas. I'm going to call it an evening with that, and I'm going to give like a little bit of a side note. This is, I believe, day 30 of my 50 days of video, and that was to help me learn how to do these videos, and I'm still learning. It's pretty obvious. I know I haven't really learned to edit or anything yet, and I'm sure you all have noticed that if you've been watching these videos, but I'm going to be working on some of those things, and I'm going to be trying to learn to use some different tools as well. One thing I would like to do, I don't have anything particular in mind yet, but I'd like to learn how to feed graphics from my computer, so that if I want to show you something, or maybe show you some slides or a video or something that can be incorporated into the video, that I can make that work as well. But this is a learning curve for me. We're getting along. I think this will be my 30th video up on YouTube. Once I finish day 50, I'm not sure I'm going to do a video every single day of these 50 days of video. What I might do is, on some of those, use those to learn about video editing and some of these other chores that I would like to do. But I don't know. We don't know. But at this point, I believe this is 30 videos, so we're getting a nice sort of base of videos on there for review. And when we get to a certain point, I'm not going to be trying to do a video every day. I'll be doing one once or twice a week, probably, is what I'll do. I think we'll sort of see. When I get that figured out, I'll try to make them at regular days and regular times, so that people know what to expect. Anyway, I digress. Like I said, we're going to call it a night. I hope this was helpful. I hope that it answered some questions for you. If you like this video, please click like. If you know someone who might benefit from it, please share it. And if you're interested in seeing some of the upcoming videos, I hope you'll hit subscribe. And thank you again for being with me. Really appreciate the people watching, and the comments and the questions and the support. And I will see you all next time. Take care.